All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. We're talking about ticker symbol FCEL, Fuel Cell Energy Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So FCEL, right, ticker symbol FCEL, Fuel Cell Energy Inc. has actually ran up, leveled off, and dipped today. So this has to do with some profit taking. It was a short day. I mean, when you look at the volume, it was 55 million. It was pretty high, but it was a short day. So I think a lot of profit taking happens. You know, we're in the holiday times. People are like, hey, let me just cash out before the end of the year, stuff like that. And there's that uncertainty. And then next week's going to be like a short week as well. And then finally, we kind of get back in the motions of things like the beginning of January, right? Like the first week, almost to the second week. So we're going to have to see. And then comes the transition of, you know, supposedly the new elect president becoming officially a new president. There's a lot of things coming up for January. And then stimulus finally getting approved, which we're kind of pending. And then also there's some pump dates coming into January. And we're going to have to see if they continue through January to February. So that's going to be important as well. So let's see here. So resistance was broken through from the 22nd to the 23rd. What a run. I drew lines yesterday, but I didn't have time to do videos. So I apologize to all investors and viewers. But here we are. I drew some lines, and I know that kind of like me drawing these lines is like, well, what's the purpose of that? I wish I would have known yesterday. But there was some interesting things here that I want you guys to see based off of what I always say. So I drew the lines just so you can imagine that they were there, and I did talk about them, right? So support was down here close to like 1270, and resistance was 1389. I want you guys to keep in mind that 1389 is a very important resistance level moving forward. So keep that in mind right now. This is a very important point as we see it, right? Now, very interesting enough, the 50-day moving average yesterday was 1143. I want to delete this so that we don't have any confusions here with these lines and these numbers, but it was 1143. I want you guys to see why I always say that the bulls need to break through the resistance. If not, the 50-day moving average will catch up to the price fairly quickly. So if by any chance the bulls were just hanging out sideways, this would be a lot closer than it was yesterday. So 1143 is like down here, way down here, right? And this is where the price was at. So very important to keep in mind how fast this has moved up. Now I know that the bears have teared it down. If this hung out sideways, it still wouldn't be as far as it was previously, and it would take like 1 or 2 more days, and this 50-day moving average could just cross through the price. That's why it's so important for the bulls to continue their momentum and also stay away from allowing the bears to take away their momentum, which is what happened here. They just appeared, broke through support, and brought this one down closer to the 50-day moving average. Now the question is, will the bulls be able to bring this one back, or are the bears on their way to gaining control? So I'm going to talk about this resistance a little bit broader because that is the highest point before the fall. I'm going to talk about our support here, but I want us to see where the price is at currently and what important factors come into play. So yesterday's support, since it got crossed, which was 1270, and I talked about why I drew that line. It's important right now because that is a resistance right now. Supports, when they get crossed, they get turned into resistance levels, and when resistance levels get crossed, they get turned into supports. So if you didn't know or pay attention to the fact that that was written there, or I didn't mention it, you wouldn't have a point of reference right now between where it currently is, which is literally the resistance level. It's the highest point we've seen it in the recovery, and the resistance level way up here. So I want you guys to keep in mind a midway point right now to know that this is coming back up and some momentum is building is if the bulls break through 1270. We need to watch that very closely. The price is 1254 and the 50-day moving average is 1223. We need to keep that in mind as well. 1223 is a very important point because that's what's letting us know who's in control. As long as the bulls stay above it, the bulls are in control. The moment that gets crossed, the bears are tearing this one down. So if the bears cross the 50-day moving average and they get closer to support and cross support, which is 1203, they've accomplished two things. They broke through the 50-day moving average, and they're breaking through support to bring this one down to newer lows, new support levels, and starting to tear the stock down in this chart. Doesn't mean that they're gaining full control though, because just because they tear it down doesn't mean the bulls can't reappear, but it's going to become much more difficult for the bulls to bring a momentum back upwards, right? Unless they come in and they come in hefty and strong and load up on shares. 1203 is your support, and that is the support we need to watch, and watch how the behavior of this stock is. If it crosses it, or if it crosses the 50-day moving average and before it gets to support, how is it behaving in that small window of 20 cents from 1223 to 1203? Super important. Watch the behavior and see what's going on. Now, on the other hand, we have obviously 1270, which was the previous support level. That is now a resistance level. But the true resistance level that the bulls want to break through is 1378 to reach newer highs, pull significantly away from the 50-day moving average, and work their way up to new resistance levels and further into bullish territory. So I want every single investor to be aware of that. If it breaks through 1270, it does not mean or guarantee that this is going to reach 1378, but 1270 is a very important point to let us know that this broke right back through that support, turned it, into a support itself again. So it's a current resistance. It was the previous support turned into resistance. This resistance level is crossed again and turned into a support again, where they can build momentum from there to reach their true resistance level up here at 1378, and then reach the highs way up here at 1391 to 1389, give or take, to reach newer highs not seen before in this chart. I mean, it's amazing to sometimes look back. I've been watching Fuelcell way back when it was like a few cents, and I swing traded it last year, and I told you guys the whole story in one of my first videos. And then I also bought again, and I kind of got stuck with it. And as soon as it was going up past $1, I got out, and man, since that point forward, this has just been running, and it hit the $2, $3 mark, fell back down, and then it's just been running since, working its way up into a bullish trajectory. Super interesting stuff. That I caught this one at one point below $1, and I just swing traded it, and then I forgot all about it, and here we are, Fuelcell just growing, and I could just see there's so much room for potential. Everything they're doing, their orders from last year are compounding into this year, and they have future innovations that are just going to create this continuing explosive result. Now, it could get a little rocky up here though, because these are highs not seen before, and some slight pullback, maybe even more than this one, could happen, or the bulls can actually continue the momentum from here, and that was the only pullback. But it could happen slightly, but it's not like Fuelcell is going to destroy the whole chart by the bears. No, I think that the bulls are in this one strong, and there's a lot of growth potential to continue moving forward. But over $10, it's kind of hard to see how much more room, but I'm not going to also say there isn't room, because the innovation that's coming with this company is tremendous and what they're doing. So we'll have to see how it continues to play out. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.